Hi everybody and welcome back to Rebellious Menstruation. This is a top 5 and it's myths about endometriosis. Endometriosis is, while most of you know what it is, a quick review we're just going to go over, is a disorder where the tissue that lines the uterus can be found outside of the uterus, such as on the ovaries, fallopian tubes or intestines. This can be difficult enough to deal with, let alone with the misinformation that is spread out there. Often sufferers of endo have to become practically experts on the topic while advocating for their own or better health care, as it can take up to 10 years, or on average 10 years, for these women to be diagnosed with endo. So here are the top 5 myths about endo. Number 1 is that if you can't have endo if you've already had a hysterectomy. This one is quite prevalent. Due to the whole hysterectomy is a cure nonsense for endo. If you hear this from a medical professional, request a change immediately. Having a uterus is not a prerequisite for endo, and removing the uterus is definitively not a cure, and the pain can still continue after the hysterectomy. Myth number 2 is that wearing cups and or tampons, or essentially internal protection, can cause endo. This is a myth that needs debunking, much like the tampon cup virginity ridiculousness. However, has been potentially and incorrectly linked. However, this myth of wearing tampons and or cups has been incorrectly linked to retrograde menstruation, which I will do another video on, but essentially is defined as the backward flow of menstrual blood out of the body via the fallopian tubes rather than via the cervix and out of the body. The cervix is small, strong and very tight, and it allows menstrual blood out but not back in. This retrograde menstruation is somewhat normal, however, as of yet has not been linked to tampon, menstrual cup use or endometriosis. Myth number 3 is that early psychological trauma causes the development of endo. Not only does this clearly victim blame, it is based upon widely discredited studies that fail to take into account medical data and exclude sufferers without childhood trauma. So basically somebody had a theory and wrangled the data set into that theory rather than change their theory, which quite often happens. Myth number 4 is that endo is simply a bad period pain. As I've spoken about in the gaslighting women experience and the gaslighting of women who experience menstruation, this is one of the examples. While endo sufferers can experience a wide range of pain depending on their own personal experiences, and there are several other disorders that can cause extreme pain, like dysmenorrhea, chronic pelvic pain, dyspareunia, dysuria. Endo can involve all of these issues and more. So quite often that's why it takes it shouldn't be taking 10 years, but quite often endo exhibits other forms of pain involving menstruation and the pelvic floor and urination. It is insulting, degrading and ignorant to ignore women's pain, and also why does it take on average 10 years to diagnose? Like, this is ridiculous. Myth number 5 is pregnancy is definitely not a cure for endo. This is seriously a dangerous and irresponsible suggestion to an endo sufferer for what is at most 8 months of temporary maskings of problems. Not one single case of endo has been cured by pregnancy. Only the sufferer has a child and a chronic disease. Women are not walking incubators for human life and are certainly not to be given the responsibility of a child for at minimum 18 years for very, very, very limited relief. This is seriously the most disgusting piece of advice to provide to an endo sufferer, especially since more often than not endo actually causes infertility and other fertility problems. However, this is the top 5 prevailing myths about endometriosis. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy your morning, afternoon or evening, depending on where you are in the day, and I will see you all next video. Remember to trust yourself, and if you don't get the medical care provided, wherever possible, get or seek better medical attention. Thank you. Bye.